Hi, in today's video, we're diving into the latest update on the MCP servers for Microsoft Dynamics 365 ERP and CRM business applications, and why it's a huge deal for supply chain and finance and operations. I'll walk you through some of the examples shared by Microsoft. I'll also link that video here from healthcare, where an AI procurement agent is already transforming how we manage supply chains. Then we'll also look at an invoice processing, how partners are building their own MCP servers and agents faster than ever before. And finally, we'll talk about what this means for a clean architecture, security, and the future of ERP. And also in the end, I'll talk about what are the shortfalls that we need to look for when building solutions with MCP protocol. If you had been in the ERP space, we used to spend months customizing ERP systems with brittle APIs, gluing things together with RPA bots, and constantly worrying about breaking changes or bringing changes that will break other things, and also bridging between different ERP systems, which connects with so many other systems outside of ERP itself. That's not the agility or agile mode. It's mostly a survival mode if you had been in ERP for a while. But what if we could bring the smart agents and AI thing and secure agents to these products and ERP directly within not months, but within weeks? You can deploy and also build on the clean core that you can build on top of it. That's what MCP is changing. So let's look at one of the example videos that we got about this MCP server from Microsoft. In this video, there is a scenario. A procurement specialist in healthcare is racing to get some critical medical supplies. This isn't some back office task. It's mission critical for her role and as well as the company. So you got a procurement specialist racing to get all these supplies, important supplies. But behind the scenes, the process is a bit more painful than we can think of. Our requisitions come in from different departments. Inventories are tracked at separate systems, and finding the right supplier or finding the right things is always a big problem and big issue when you are a specialist there. So that's a mix of spreadsheet, policies, emails, and honestly a bit of guesswork here and there based on number of products or catalog that you have. So in the convention approach, there is always like a custom code. We used to go in, build some custom code inside of ERP with some APIs, with supplier data, RPA bots that are duct taped together just to push out the purchase order or also finding the right product. It works until it doesn't, and it's the case for a lot of the times. So every change is expensive, slow, and high risk. And in this example, here's where MCP changes this slightly differently and smarter. What looks like a simple workflow so far, but we can see how it works when powered by MCP. Now Procurement Specialist Agent, using the AI Procurement Agent built right in the Copilot Studio, they can just describe what they want. So review requisitions, check policies, find the best suppliers, issue the POs, that's the end task, and that's it, right? So we should be able to give those instructions. MCP then acts as a coordination layer between the AI agent and the ERP system. So instead of custom code, everything the agent needs is data access, logical approves, and the tools from the MCP server, which are defined centrally. This keeps the application code clean, dramatically reduces the maintenance without touching the core application code. And we all know how much it takes to deploy, upgrade, and make changes to the code if you want to do any of the changes like this or add a new tool or something like that. This is where MCP will be more helpful. So that's the agility, that's scale, and most importantly, that's how we keep ERP clean and also powerful. When the code is clean, the upgrades and changes are going to be much faster and much more simpler. So everything we're talking about here, MCP servers, AI agents in ERP, building on the clean, intelligent workflows, there's so much more innovation happening. So I'm excited to see what all we can bring to the table. But at the core, it's all about designing smarter AI solutions that actually work inside your enterprise with the MCP server providing the right tools and the right security and the data and other things that an agent can think using the MCP server. And let's be honest, it's hard to plan and build a journey around this with all this innovation coming and all the changes. That's exactly why I wrote my book called AI First Enterprise Architecture. So if you're asking why do I begin with AI, start with building a strong AI center of excellence within your company. In the book, I walk through how to build the right team, right enterprise architects, right way to find data experts, right way to get your business leaders, and give you a playbook to scale across your organization organization, especially within ERP, how you can build this at the core level so you can think about all these innovations that are coming from Microsoft and others. How can we utilize them to build a better solution? Especially what Microsoft is doing with Copilot and Dynamics 365. That's AI first blueprint in action at the core level, at the code level. And I show how to bring that same approach into your own enterprise with real world frameworks, architecture patterns, and a lot of use cases that you can learn from. So far what I have found are useful. So if you're serious about AI and want to do it right, this is a guide to start. So please buy my book. It's available and I'll put the links down below. So you can go ahead and download buy the book as well as download on Kindle if you want. So I'm excited to share about the book. So let's jump back to our video here again where I speak about developer acceleration. Basically, one of the things that I see here is with MCP, partners and ISVs don't need to reinvent the wheel again. They've been doing this for a long time. There are experts here. So they can actually build these agents much faster. They describe the agent in Copilot Studio, pick the right MCP server, as well as build MCP servers that they are doing with ISVs before, and instantly get access to secure context aware actions like validate requisitions, get supplier options, or issue purchase orders, all without touching the back end of the code. That is the key thing here when I'm talking about MCP servers, and why I'm excited is the code can still be what it is. You get access through the MCP server and build these agents on top of it. That way you get the right tools to do the right job. And here's the kicker. Those MCP servers can even come from other partners, suppliers, and also third-party companies for your customer. That makes it allowing your systems to be much more incorporated, as well as expanding the horizons of what can we connect with. How do you build better solutions with all the things that you're doing? In future, I see where developers and ISVs, they could build a solution, deploy the whole ERP system, and any new change coming, they could start building agents that will work with MCP servers. Let's say you are working with a different supplier. You don't need to work around building a new protocol, new API server, or a new bridge and new data to work with them. They could have an MCP server and you have your MCP client. You connect with them and the solutions are going to be much easier. So this isn't just about being easier, it's also faster and more secure as well, and the way more extensibility that you can bring to the table for your customers. So if you're a developer, this is one of the best things, and if you're a partner in an ISV solution, you are actually going to be able to build much better apps and agents. Actually, the apps age is turning into agents and you can build those much faster. So let's look at another example from finance and operations. So we'll flip to finance, different department, but you got an accounts payable specialist in accounts payable, starting with a stack of invoices, a lot of invoices. Normally they match each invoice to a purchase order and a receipt, hunting down exceptions and dealing with slow approvals. I've done solutions around this a long time ago, and I know how many of these will come. There's so many exceptions we need to write, so many conditions we need to write, and things like that. But with the agent, in the traditional way, the way we used to do it was we used to build workflow engines bolted on the ERP, some custom validation logics like I was talking, and if you're lucky, an external AP automation tool or something that will connect. But it's still a patchwork and a lot of manual effort and slow resolution and constant cleanup. A lot of the time when we're developing this, we get a request and we are building a solution, then something else changes and it will impact something else. But now enter the MCP powered agents. So in Copilot Studio now, you could describe what the agent should do, match invoices, flag exceptions, you could say follow company policies, and also issue payments when everything checks out. So MCP sits behind the scenes as a brain. It actually acts as you're giving instructions. It defines what three-way match means, or two-way match, whatever match you need. You don't need to build two different workflows. It can do the three-way match means, what documents are needed, and how to handle exceptions, all as a reusable centralized logic. The agent automatically performs a three-way match, purchase order, receipt invoices, and also flags any invoices or issues before they even get involved, so they can get the right order. I like the example here where they start their day with all the exceptions and things like that. And also it works all throughout the day. So it's a 24/7 working something. So I like the example that we have here. So when your policy changes or new supplier comes in, update it on the server. Every agent updates instantly, no code, no mess, as well as no need to take a system down or do an upgrade at a different time. You can get these things easily. So for these specialists, job shifts from chasing errors to reviewing insights. So this is where one of the things that Microsoft speaks about, different types of agent. So this is going to be most of a human oversight agent. The system handles the complexity, then they can only look at exceptions that are already mitigated or something like that. We can see here all done through MCP-driven logic, built once, one language, one model, multiple business domains as well, reused. It can be reused many times, no additional code needed, no duplicate logic, just clean and smart automation. When I say automation, it's more like agent is working towards that in doing the things that it's supposed to do in the process. So let's switch back to partner innovation, as well as if you're a developer, your innovation, why it matters for partners, ISVs, and other app builders to be excited about MCP. This isn't just a Microsoft thing. It's a new foundation partners can build upon. And I'll also link the article below where Microsoft has put some examples, something like Avanade is using MCP to streamline RFPs, Fellowminds built an emission agent for ESG compliance, and RSM is optimizing humanitarian logistics, and HSO is making invoice processing frictionless with these MCP servers. I love these examples, and I will link the article below so you can read more about them. And I'm excited because this is what happens when you standardize the agent stack. Partners go from spending time on glue code to solving real business problems and building these servers and other things much faster. And on the other hand, if you look at the clean code architecture, keeping the core clean. In a lot of ERPs, we actually rely on keeping the core clean because any update that comes from either Microsoft, SAP, Oracle, it's very important for you to have that core clean in terms of the code where your ERP lies. So let's look at the architecture for a second, because MCP is a dream for clean code pursuits in my view. So no more polluting the core with brittle scripts or changing or updating or forcing the code changes. MCP lets you keep the app layer minimal while giving agents maximum power. That app layer is actually very important because all the innovation that's coming from Microsoft is through the code. So you're always keep getting updated without worrying about anything will break on the solution that you have built today. So you get agility without having any fragile things that will break. So that's the shift. With MCP, we are not duct taping logic into the core app. The ERP stays very clean. That's the goal, to be honest, for any solution architect or a developer. The business logic lives in the MCP server, and the agents, they just talk to it and build on solutions from there. So you get the modularity, maintainability. If you speak about agility as well, all the buzzwords, I can say more, but at this time they actually deliver. And every update you make, server side, no app redeployments or no regression, you could actually switch between different MCP servers as they build. And you can also, if you change any solution or an ISV partner or something, it also becomes much more easy. You just have your client working on what you need and you can connect to the right server going forward. So let's look at some security and what still needs working. Now, to be real, we are still early. There's a lot of work to do. While MCP enforces strict authorization with Enter ID from Microsoft and our Copilot Studio that we are building, keeping these agents scoped to roles, there's more to be done around that as well. If you are building a multi-agent governance or telemetry or agent lifecycle management, that's something we haven't came through yet, but agent lifecycle management is something that will be coming much more sooner than we think. When I'm building agents, I have versions of different agents that we're doing, but sometimes it's very hard and there is no framework at the moment, but agent lifecycle management is something else that we need to look after as well. But it's not all bad in a way. This is where partners are the absolute critical, not just building solutions, but co-architecting the next generation of enterprise-grade AI and helping Microsoft shape the ecosystem. From me, that's how I see it. These partners can come in and bring in their expertise like they did before through apps and other things and ISVs. Now they're going to do it through the agents, and we're going to be able to support and learn more from that. I'm going to share the video down below for more details, but how do we actually build one of these agents with these MCP servers? Honestly, it's surprisingly direct. Let's say you're already building Copilot Studio agents. You don't need to be an expert developer or write complete code for this. You have to describe what you want the agent to do. The more detailed you are, the better. But for simplicity, and here is an example that they have given, I want this agent to review incoming purchase orders, requisitions, check our company's procurement policies, find the best supplier, and then issue a purchase order from the example we have seen in the beginning. So we are using natural language to write what the agent has to do. I also will link a video down below on how to write better instructions that I've created before. So once you describe your agent, the behavior, you give the agent names like healthcare procurement agent, the way you build agents like before, and you just create. So here's where we have extensibility with what Microsoft has built and is sharing. So you select the MCP server, Dynamics 365, that's the biggest announcement. That's what I'm excited here for. So here is where the real work happens. By choosing the Dynamics 365 MCP server, you're telling the agent certain things. What kind of data it can access, like inventory, supplier profiles, POs directly from your ERP system. And then you also have what kind of actions it can take, like validating the requisitions or issuing a purchase order. This is all built on the MCP rules and stuff. And what rules or logic it needs to follow, like compliance policies, approval workflows, and other things that you can build on top of. But here's the best part. You're not hard coding any of this like before. You don't have an API thing hard coded or a code. You don't have a glue code that's working behind the scenes. The logic lives on that MCP server. That means if procurement rules changes, you update the logic on the MCP server, it's up to date. You also don't need to integrate with new systems. Add another MCP server, it will work directly accordingly with your agent. Then what kind of supplier scoring based sustainability metrics or other things that you're updating. Just update your configuration. No need to rebuild the agent again. Connect it with the right things and it knows how to act. The agentic thing will come in picture there. And because the MCP servers handles the coordination and access, the agent logic stays very clean and portable, as well as reusable. You could rebuild and keep enhancing on that. Same goes for the finance agent. The video will explain more. You describe the agent that goes three-way match, handles exceptions and issue payments, hook it up to your ERP MCP server that we are enabling at Microsoft, that Microsoft has enabled, so I'm excited for that. AI agents aren't just nice to have anymore. They are the force multipliers. They're reshaping how business operates from inside out. And also streamlined workflows. Your team gets to work at a higher level, focusing on what really matters for you in terms of efficiency or other things, while the repetitive, time-consuming tasks get handled behind the scenes. It's a smoother, faster, and a way more efficient process. Then single protocol and less hassle for you. So for makers, Copilot Studio and MCP servers give you a powerful, unified toolkit. No juggling of APIs, changing of any custom glue or code, just one protocol that standardizes integrations that actually make sense for you and your business case. Also, no hard coding if you're a developer. You're not buried in the code. You just describe what you want the agent to do. Plug it into your MCP server. It has all the tools and other things that are updated based on the server you connect with. And it's off and running directly, which is scalable, which is going to be very flexible based on how your server is designed. And also no client-side work. You have a client server that works with it, but other than that, you're connecting to the right server and connecting it with your agent, and things should work smoothly. The next one is very important, which is the open ecosystem. This isn't a closed box system anymore. It's a community-driven platform where customers and partners can extend and enhance more of the servers. Whatever opens up, I'm excited to see how the world will change and build on what's already there. So it grows with you as your company grows or your third-party systems grows. If you're working with a supplier, they will have their own MCP servers that you can connect to and other things. What's in it for companies? This means like lower cost for you, smarter automation, far less technical debt. You don't need to worry too much about what's the code doing, what's the other things are changing. You should be able to be much more agile and keep up and stay agile much more longer and much more efficiently and easily, to be honest. And also you stay ahead with the curve. So in a supplier and other things that they're doing, you can be keeping up with them. And you don't just keep up, you actually can be the leader and lead in your industry and help with your business cases. So here are my closing thoughts. So what's the shift here from old world to MCP world and other protocols that may come in the future? In the old world, you write the code, build your APIs, patch in your bots, bring in your apps and other things, and pray it all holds together through the next ERP update. The updates come in every 6 months, 4 months or whatever, and you're really hoping that everything works together. But in the MCP world, you define the intent, describe the logic, and let the system do the rest. Agents get smarter, your ERP stays clean, and your team stops firefighting and other things, and they can actually build solutions and actually solve business problems without worrying about code updates and changes and things that you need to do. So this is, in my view, the future of business applications. Agent ready, partner extensible, as well as enterprise secure. We can work on the security more as we build more solutions as well. So if you are building a Dynamics 365 agent or an MCP server, or think about it, now it's the time for you to go agentic. So MCP servers are the new platform or a new protocol that's going to help you to go faster in this space. And as we have seen at Microsoft Build, the possibilities are just starting. It's exciting to see 130 billion agents are being built from Charles and others. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen. So if you're a developer, partner, or a business leader, now is the time to embrace MCP and A2A protocols. And I've also seen in the I/O for Google, they're also enabling SDKs to work with MCP protocol. So this is what agent ready looks like, and especially in the ERP looks like with the examples I've shared and learned from the Microsoft video. And it's not next year, it's actually now. So you can start building these and everything else. So thank you so much for watching. Let's build these autonomous enterprise together. And also I'll put all the links down below for you to watch. So let's make this real. See you next time. And also I'll put the link for my book again. So if you're starting your AI journey, my book is a great way to start if you're a leader or if you're a developer or an architect. So I've written this with a lot of experience and learning that I've been doing in the last 2.5 years. So I'm excited to see more. So thank you so much for watching. Follow me on LinkedIn, as well as hit the thumbs up and share with your friends. Thank you so much. Bye.